Hello, I'm being frank with you. It's Monday morning and it's a bit of a rainy day today. I've just had to remove a tick from the side of my neck. It's one of the disadvantages of being in a countryside location. Sorry about the background noise, the builders have started already. Anyway, I'll show you this little tick. Just to give you some perspective. He seems quite a lively little thing. Certainly now that he's out to the side of my neck. Because we get the sheep and the deer in the garden. The garden is just full of ticks. You know, you couldn't go out and sit in our garden for very long without having something sticking into your leg. They're an interesting little creature. They breed prolifically and they carry Lyme disease. Lyme disease, Lyme, is named after the town of Lyme in Connecticut where they were first discovered. I've become a little bit of an expert on ticks, having been in this house for 12 years, because in the early days when the kids were out playing in the garden, whenever they came in, the first thing we had to do was tick inspection. But it's just one of those things. As long as you get them early, and as long as you don't make a mess of extracting them, then it's okay. It's not pleasant, but it's okay. I should have explained earlier that we have this little device. It's called a tick card. It's like a credit card size with a little nick in two of the corners, one for big ticks and one for not so big ticks. Prior to using that, we had tick hooks. It's the sort of thing you get from the vet, and it's for usually, you get it from the vet, it's for taking ticks from animals. And it's much more difficult to use a tick hook because you have to kind of get the hook underneath the tick and then twirl it round in a circle. Some people say you have to go clockwise and other people say you have to go anti-clockwise. Well, forget all that nonsense. All you need to do is get a tick card and you just slide it across the skin. Okay, I make it sound a lot more simple than it really is. Sometimes it takes 20 attempts to make it happen. But you just slide it across the skin and with a bit of luck, the tick goes into the nick in the corner of the card and then it just lifts it right out and then you get rid of the tick. The real thing you don't want to do is damage the tick in some way, because it is possible for you to pull the body and the legs away from the tick and leave the head embedded in your skin. That's the definite thing you don't want to do. That's when it becomes infected. The Lyme disease is not, how can I say this, it's not in the tick itself. The tick carries a bacteria which carries the Lyme disease. It must be very, very small. But I've known people around this area who have had Lyme disease and they've been really not very well at all. It has the same type of symptoms as ME. Now, they are severely debilitated, they have no energy, and this can go on for, in one case I know a man who has had it for more than 18 months and is still not really recovering. So it's a pretty awful thing, and there really isn't much of a cure for it. A bit like ME, there is no real cure. It's one of these things that the body itself has to self-repair. Anyway, back to today. The first day back after being away for a week is always pretty, what's the word? I don't know what the word is. I'm so tired after today. It's a bit of a strain. You go back and nobody's opened the mail and it stands on my desk a foot high, and there are a whole list of messages and things that just have not been attended to. And that's really the reason I never take more than a week off at a time. So it's been a hard day. It's now 11:30. I brought a pile of things home for me to do this evening, so I've been having TV programs running in the background and then working my way through this enormous pile of stuff. And I'm pleased to say, at least I've got it separated into bundles and I can sort it out in the morning. But I think it's going to be a series of quite long days this week. My wife and 2 boys are in London. I took them to the station this morning, but they'll be back tomorrow night. So maybe not too much of a late night tomorrow night. Anyway, I think it's bedtime. My eyes are nearly closing. I hope you have had a much better day than I've had. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss. Hello, I'm being frank with you. It's Tuesday morning and my voice is croaky.
I've come to work, and I'm very pleased to say I've come in here with an average of about 258 watt hours per mile, which brings down my long-term average to 305. So I'm gradually getting towards that magical 300 figure. Today it's a bit grey and rainy for much of the journey. It's going to be a pretty simple day, I think. A couple of meetings, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and just steady work throughout the day. And then in the evening I have to collect my wife and children from the station. Need to go to the supermarket before that, or we have nothing to eat tonight. So looking forward to all of that.
That's the first meeting done. That was the easy one. Now I just have to go out on a very quick errand, and then have some lunch, and then my second meeting, which will be more difficult.
I just got back in the car after walking along the road, and the phone rang, and it diverted to the car system. And this is something I've noticed with the Tesla, which I've not experienced in any other car. At the end of the call, in previous cars, the phone switched off. When the Tesla disconnects the call, the mobile phone stays active. And with my phone, after it's been active for a couple of minutes, the heat in it builds up. And if you've got the phone in your pocket, you think that your leg is on fire. So I don't know if there's a glitch in the Tesla system or in my phone. I can't think it is my phone because, as I say, in previous cars and even in higher cars, the phone always switches off at the end of the phone call. With Tesla, not at all. It always stays active. I don't know if anybody else has experienced this. It's turned into an amazingly sunny day here in central Scotland. I'm now at my way to the station to pick up my wife and children. I've just done the necessary trip to the supermarket. Otherwise we had nothing to eat tonight. So I have 13 minutes to get to the station. Make sure I'm sitting in a good place so that they can see me. Best of luck with that plan. So family collected from the station through another supermarket because I hadn't bought everything that my wife wanted. Back home, dinner and a bit of work. It's now 1:45 again. So the boys are upstairs getting ready to go to bed. Way too late, I think. And I sometimes think at this point I should just stay up overnight, but I won't. More tomorrow. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss.